One.
Sounds out of orgasms.
Real in.
You'll be hearing that.
Yeah,
One real in.
Beatboxing again.
Welcome, internet haters and lovers alike. We are opening with our brand new show called One Real In. You'll know us of the One Beer In podcast fame. We're trying something new, though, inspired by a few other podcasts that I will not name because I'm very selfish.
Yep. I was going to stop you.
Yep, correct. No cross-promotion for us. But since we all enjoy the pastime of watching terrible, awesome movies, we decided to make this a podcast show on its own. And for the very first episode of the show, we have decided to take on Sabotage. Yeah. It is a Schwarzenegger film, but not in the way that we're used to seeing, I feel. It is not a classic 80s Schwarzenegger movie.
No. It tries to be.
It tries, well, sorta.
Some scenes.
Yeah.
Some scenes.
It breaks away. Let me describe a little bit. It has a...
Give us the synopsis.
Less than a paragraph.
Members of an elite DEA task force find themselves being taken down one by one after they rob a drug cartel safe house.
I mean, pretty simple, to the point.
It's a pretty simple story.
Or you think.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's not hard to mess up.
No.
Well, they give it 2 hours to screw that plot up. So we have a lot of rope to hang themselves with.
Most of the fumbling happens in the first half.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
I think we're all in agreement that the first half of the movie is a bungled mess of a film.
As far as plot goes.
Yeah.
But as far as entertainment and just watching a movie, I thought half of the shit that I thought was hilariously ridiculous was in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second half of the movie is like a different
one-liners, movie. That's all second.
It's like
half.
a different movie.
Right.
So in this movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger is an elite a drug lord veteran. He is known. He is famous for busting drug lords. He was the guy that got the guy that no one could get.
Man, he's the fucking man.
And that's a line straight out of the movie.
Yeah.
I know because I watched it 3 goddamn times.
Yeah.
It took me all day to get through it.
That's 6 hours of movie.
It is. That's my life. Gone.
But he only does the
guys.
dark side shit with that terrible fucking hoodie on his head.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's weird. It's kind of weird that
let's kind of try to move through it a little bit.
I mean, the cast is pretty well known. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger. We have Sam Worthington, Joe Manganiello.
Took me a second to recognize Sam.
Josh Holloway, known from Lost.
Me too.
We have Terrence Howard that does anything for a living nowadays.
Seriously.
Especially that chick, Jesus Christ.
And I mean, I think that rounds it out. There was that one chick, Lizzie.
Yeah,
she was from?
She's from The Killing.
The Killing.
The
that's
TV
right.
show The Killing.
Lizzie McGuire. Yeah,
that's a good one too.
Murder.
If you look at this movie from the outset without watching it, it seems like a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
You have this.
I think you've got a pretty solid cast.
Yes. And according to you guys, David Ayer was a solid director and a solid writer who was head writer and director on this movie.
I mean, not according to us. I mean, according to the movies he's made.
I think
he made Training Day, bro.
I think he let Arnold manhandle him when it came to the movie making process. I think the only reason Arnold's doing this movie is because his joints can handle it. Because he's not doing a whole bunch of moving in this movie. He's just doing tactical poses with a gun in his hand.
There is a scene where he's lifting weights.
Right.
It's true.
He's still got it.
That was documentary footage.
I'm coming.
What was that? 5 minutes before we got to our first Arnold impression?
Yeah. That was... this has been running for a while.
Buckle in, boys.
But anyway, the first 10 minutes of the movie are probably one of... It's one of these 0 to 100 moments where it's just very calm, and then all of a sudden there's Arnold watching his favorite snuff film of his wife, like all of us do, and then suddenly he's in the truck with this macho...
multiple angles of that snuff film.
Yes, that was the most well-produced snuff film.
Never seen a snuff film with like 3 cameras.
Pretty sure half of that $10 million went into production of that film.
That's just that snuff film.
The cartel's great mise en scene.
And then suddenly you're cut into a SWAT truck with the most macho man banter I've heard in a while. Probably since the last 80s movie of Arnold, where the terms don't blow your balls off with that. Are your balls made of brass? How big are your wives? And who dropped ass?
Who dropped ass?
Who dropped ass?
Dropped ass.
Probably the best thing we can pull from this movie.
I think that was something that they were trying to push. It's like, stop saying dropped ass. It's not going to happen. Dropped ass isn't going to happen.
They wanted it to.
They really
hard.
did. David Ayers probably was like, dropped ass. That's hilarious.
I'm so okay with that scene, though.
Dropped
because
ass?
I feel like we're missing that.
Ass?
No, I love that just over-the-top, masculine, hanging out in the car scene. That's...
No, I'll give you that. There's certain scenes in here that it's like classic 80s film that Hollywood is sorely missing. But the problem is all the other stuff. First of all, I mean, the immense amount of... It's Swiss cheese with these plot holes.
Right.
Yes.
Which, I mean, I feel like would be okay if they weren't trying to tell such a grounded story.
Right. They tried really hard to be
within the
complex
first
with
10
it.
minutes. That's where the plot hole. It's a giant gaping plot hole, but we'll get there, and I'll explain to you why it's a huge plot hole.
Right.
But anyway, so go ahead.
But plot holes aside, I feel like the entire idea of this being an 80s movie, if they would have gone all in on it, would have been a good movie. If they would have gone
Fury style.
Yes, exactly. Or I mean, not even that far. I'm just saying, like, make it an enjoyable. Balls to the wall action
Not be
movie.
so serious. Not take itself so serious.
It takes itself just a little too seriously.
It's way too serious.
Side note, David Ayer, my friends, is also going to be the director of the upcoming Suicide Squad movie.
That's right.
Well, there you go.
So, pray to God.
You have that to look forward to.
My friends.
Hopefully this was his dry run.
I really hope so.
Because it was pretty much just a bunch of bad guys.
All you people who haven't wised up and are still DC fans.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Anyway, we're not talking about that. But let's stop talking about the movie and let's start talking about the story. So let's take a stroll.
Okay.
So we open up with them raiding a cartel drug house.
Yep.
Which, if you listen to in the beginning, there is a man speaking Arabic. And then later on in the same scene, there's a man speaking Spanish.
Didn't notice that.
So I caught that. That was a little weird. They also have an insurgent, Lizzie, who has an earpiece in her ear, and Arnold asks her, Lizzie, can you copy me? And she goes, I hear nothing.
So she heard something.
She heard something. There's a lot of dumb things in here. So anyway, they raid the house. Lizzie kills the guy that she's blowing. Whatever. They find the money, which, by the way, the only information they give is it's next door.
Right, exactly. And let's mention as well that Lizzie is also married to one of the operatives on the team.
Also the only one without a nickname.
To Sam.
To Monster.
Monster.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, wait. Can we go through the names? We've got Monster.
We got Breacher. We got Grinder. We got Monster. We got Sugar. We got Neck. We got Tripod. And we got
Lizzie.
Not Lizzie, and then there's one more, the guy that gets hit in the RV and explodes.
Spoiler!
The piles of meat.
What is...
He's meat. He became meat.
That was one of the most memorable moments of the entire movie. Was just steaming piles of flesh that don't exist in the human body.
I'm getting the sense that Gavin liked this film a lot more than I think normal people liked it.
I enjoyed it the first time. Not so much the second time.
I didn't.
Not at all the third time.
I didn't like it for a quality movie that I want to be able to think about after. I liked it in the sense that it was completely old school. I mean, it was everything that Arnold wanted in that movie. He got basically.
But there was no fun. It wasn't fun.
And that's my biggest thing that I pulled from this movie was it would have been so much better if they did have more fun with it.
Yeah, because I feel like so serious.
But he's not a fun guy.
Arnold,
he's so much fun.
Are you kidding me? He's the most fun.
Jingle all the way.
To the movie's credit, like I said earlier, it was supposed to be a 3-hour movie. It wasn't supposed to be an action movie. It was supposed to be a mystery thriller that they chopped up into pieces.
It still it works on that level. I mean, it doesn't work on that level, but
it probably doesn't work like it's intended to.
Right.
David Ayer probably had a pretty solid movie that was 3 hours long, and then they went, no, we're chopping this bitch down to 2 hours because this is unbearable.
Well, you got to imagine that the script he wrote was probably pretty good. I imagine that screenplay
maybe
before it was filmed, like the story that he came up with was pretty solid. DEA agents, they perform a robbery, but then they get robbed. Now you're trying to figure out who robbed the DEA agents, who robbed the cartel. Now they start dying one by one. It's a solid story.
Yeah.
The execution ain't there.
But he should have dropped his name from the hat as soon as they cast Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because you cannot have a serious movie with him in it anymore.
This is the last movie this is the last podcast that Gavin Benner will be featured on.
Fair enough.
I disagree. I think that Arnold Schwarzenegger plays his role to almost perfection, to be honest with you.
Let me rephrase. Like, what?
You guys are getting away.
Okay, all right.
You guys are getting away.
Move into it. Get to where we're trying to go.
Let's funnel it. Yes.
I want to talk about the story, not the movie.
Okay, let's run through the story pretty quickly. Let's
talk about how stupid it was for them to lift up a toilet and shove $10 million worth of money into Ziploc bags.
Yeah. First of all, $10 million isn't that much money.
Right.
All things considered.
Oh, you have it just laying around at him?
Well, a good bit of money.
Okay.
For people
only
that
in
are
my
making
toilet.
$60,000
Listen,
a year, that's a good bit of money.
Listen. It's $10 million, but it's
5
divided.
people?
Yeah, it was more than 5 before Neck died.
You're right. Yeah.
It was like 6-7 guys.
That's a lot of money.
Dude, that's like $2 million.
Right, and then if
they can't retire off
they're not
$1 million
smart
bucks.
People.
If they're retiring,
most of them were doing drugs.
Yeah,
Lizzie is a drug addict.
They act like they weren't getting a payroll from being on the DEA.
I'm just saying, they're like all in their late 30s. They're all worn out. None of them are young studs, and I mean that's kind of the point of it.
But it's not retirement money. That's a good little score if you were like a professional.
That's
retirement.
retirement.
Buy a couple boats.
That's retirement,
and then that's it.
I mean, it depends on how you're trying to retire.
Only
That's
need
another
to buy
story.
Boats.
That's it. So you need to
That's
do is
retirement
get a couple
money
boats.
in Mexico or any country other than the U.S. and Western Europe. That is retirement money, and that's
$1 million?
just assuming that they don't have money. You know, they're making like $60,000 a year.
I hear Costa Rica's nice nowadays.
It is. It's good money. If you're if you're spending like $50 a year.
Okay, so they shoved $10 million, which according to Gavin is enough to retire off of. I don't agree. Anyway, they shove it down. They shove it down the sewage system, the toilet. They rip the toilet off the fucking floor, shove the money down in there. Then they don't really give a timetable.
They plop the toilet back down and wrap the toilet paper neatly around it.
Then they blow up the rest of the money.
Yes. There ensues the beginning of a humongous plot hole.
Right.
Go ahead.
Go on.
Gavin, you were going to say something?
I can't say it until you say your thought because then they wouldn't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so the whole premise of the movie is to find out who's killing off the rest of the team.
Right.
They think that the cartels are killing the rest of the team.
That's the assumption.
Supposedly, there is $200 million in that pile.
Right.
They take $10 million.
Yep.
Right.
The DEA knows about $200 million.
Right.
They don't know about the 10. They're the only people who know. They are the only people who know about the 10 million.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then they blow up the rest of the money, so nobody else can know that that's missing.
Right.
Ergo, they're the only ones that know. Who do they think is telling the cartel when they're the only people that know about it?
Right.
And that's where the plot hole begins.
But see, the only thing that you've seen it more, so maybe you caught something that I didn't. But I thought that there was an issue where, because they questioned him immediately after. I thought someone like tipped off the FBI, or they said something along the lines of, "You think we didn't notice $10 million missing?"
They
Right,
can't. They can't do that because they blew it up. How would they know?
But they did though. That's what they said when they're questioning them. Is like you didn't think we would notice the money's missing,
Right.
but they blew it up.
Right.
So that's
But-
the big.
but
That was
I mean-
the big one that jumped out the first time we watched it. I was like, how the fuck do they know how much
Even
is
in the
missing?
scene though, like the money doesn't evaporate. Like it's a grenade explosion. It's not like the house catches fire.
Right. I mean, they don't
So
destroy
like
the
there's
entire
still
pile
there's
of
still
money.
plenty of that.
Let me tell you how it explodes. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a backpack full of explosives. I'm not sure where he got it from. I rewound it a couple times to figure out where it came out of.
Right.
There's a tank in the backpack. He throws it. He shoots it. Then it blows up. There's no grenade. Everything becomes decimated into little decimal points. 'Cause that's what that means.
Yeah.
And-
I guess
Divided by 3.
What I'm saying is like when I think about this realistically, like this plan that they made, the whole thing that this movie is based around, isn't like this new novel idea. Like DEA agents are trained to detect this type of stuff so that this doesn't happen.
Right.
Like in real life, they would know if $10 million was missing.
But how?
I don't know. I'm not trained by the DEA. But that's the DEA.
But see, that's the thing, though. This is a movie. You're supposed to walk us through it and let us know, like, how do they know?
Yes.
If
and that's where they failed in the movie.
If the DEA agents that are supposed to be trained to know if money's missing are the ones stealing it and then blowing it up, then that's null and void. That no longer exists in that logic.
Okay, so They go down into the sewage system. They try to find the money. Money's gone. That's where bing, bang, boom. Oh no, what's going on? Then they get caught. They don't explain how they got caught. And then that's the credits rolling as they're questioning them throughout.
I want to talk about the little clue that was left behind for some reason. Just a bullet.
Oh, just the one bullet.
And how like the direction was like, hey, everybody, look at this bullet right here, guys. Right? Hold it up to the camera. Put the flashlight on it. Wow, look at it.
Right,
this is important.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's a clue.
Wait, maybe I'm forgetting something because Arnold stole it from the beginning, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're jumping way ahead, but yeah, okay.
Yes.
I mean, we could jump back and forth.
Yes.
Arnold in the end of the movie admits that
and that's why the cartel left it at the end, right?
Okay, see, here's one of my biggest issues. Okay. Arnold took the money.
Mm-hmm.
Lizzie thought that everyone else took the money.
Marco, before you continue, pause.
Okay.
Can we just run through the entire synopsis of the movie real quick?
Just
so we get from the beginning to the end.
Do it. Go through it.
Dave has the notes written down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right.
Go from the very beginning to the end as quickly as possible.
First 10 minutes, fucking the team raids the cartel's house, steals $10 million, shoves it into the toilet, blows up to $200 million.
Right. Then
the DEA realizes $10 million is somehow magically disappeared, even though the $200 million is blown up. They're on investigation for 6 months.
6 months.
Then the case is immediately dropped, and he is given back.
Why did they drop it, though?
They got tired.
They just got tired. They got bored.
We're done.
Quote unquote, they lost their steam.
Yeah.
Logical.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Then he is given back the exact same team that he was under investigation with.
The entire team.
The entire team.
It makes no sense.
His
Guns,
gun and badges,
credentials. They are scot-free.
Yep.
He actually brings them in the office and says, "Here's your gun and your badge and your team."
Yes.
It's like, what is this?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Then
we gave up.
Then, once he gets his team back after 6 months, he realizes his team's skill has completely deteriorated, and they have no idea how to raid a team. Yeah. There's a training montage. They go to a club, and then is when the murders start, where each one of his team members start getting picked off one by one.
Very grisly.
Fast forward.
Gratuitous violence.
Yes.
It all culminates in a car chase with the two remaining suspects.
So good.
And a ridiculous car chase.
It's very solid.
That involves a dummy flopping around in the
back
of a trunk.
I hated that. Why did she fall out of that trunk?
Holding a machine gun.
Why did she not pass out?
There's a bicyclist that has a very bad day.
Yes, that too. He has a very funny outfit on too. In which Arnold admits that he was the one that stole the money.
Right. After Lizzie has killed everybody.
Yeah,
and Lizzie has admitted that she's the one who's murdering the team.
Yes.
Now there's a couple of things about that
I'm not done yet.
And Terrence Howard.
Keep
then
going.
Arnold goes to Mexico.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kills some people.
It's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
He pops Achonga's top off. It's amazing.
He does.
It just
fantastic.
Her hair flips into the front of her face.
It's great.
It's so
anyway.
Good. The end.
Excuse me.
That's how that movie ended.
Yep.
Okay, so that was the synopsis in a nutshell.
Okay.
But there's so much.
In between. We got to digest this.
First of all, the entire first half of the movie, we're talking about this movie as being basically two solid halves.
And it basically is.
It is.
Pretty much is.
I think that's where the middle, there must have been an hour in the middle that was cut out.
Right.
Because when I was reading, I was going through, I was reading the story about this movie, how it was made.
Right.
Yeah.
They cut out that whole
investigative process.
Mystery. Yeah, there's parts of the movie that mention subplots. When the detective and Breacher in the car, she mentions a daughter that was killed by her father, and the father was never convicted. And she goes, just because you were never convicted doesn't mean you're not guilty.
Right.
There was an entire subplot that is only mentioned once, and that's it.
Right.
That was supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably where a lot of these holes come from, is if David Ayer truly did write a masterful script for this 3-hour movie, I mean, there's no way you don't, in my eyes, have the FBI, like your guy that you love, that character in the FBI that you love, that's doing the legwork, trying to figure out, how to connect the money and who's doing what, and and it just wasn't there because it was all action.
Yeah.
Right.
The detective, the female detective,
the lead investigator.
She's awful.
Yep,
I think
she
she's
is.
just terrible.
So is the other dude from Lost.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
he's
also in this
awful.
film.
Detective Jackson
Just-
is his
This
name.
was a
Cop
Lost
banter,
reunion.
cop banter,
almost.
cop
It pretty
banter.
much was, yeah. There was a lot of characters from Lost in this
By
movie.
the numbers.
Yeah.
With all the police.
Gavin,
things.
I'm surprised you didn't like this movie more, because from this movie we have stemmed off a new drinking game called Sabotage.
Yes.
Where we will hide a PBR anywhere, and if you find it, you get sabotaged, because this movie was probably endorsed by PBR.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
right.
seen
That's
more
a great game. I
PBRs.
like that.
I
The
know.
entire first half of this film is full of PBR.
It's all PBR. That's
There's
all they drink.
Only PBR
That's
beer.
all they
That's
drink.
it.
Yeah, no, seriously, that's all they drink.
Until he
They
goes to
literally
Mexico.
only drink
and that's
that.
it.
I thought we were pointing out the flaws.
No, it's not a horrible thing. It's just, I mean, it's such obvious product placement.
When
It's-
Pyro,
a great thing.
When Pyro wakes up in his RV at 3 a.m. in the morning,
Yeah.
he doesn't grab a glass of water.
No.
He pops open a PBR.
Sure PBR.
does.
When
Goddamn
Grinder,
right he does.
when Grinder confuses the detective for a stripper and offers her a drink,
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
PBR.
Hey, take a PBR, bitch. Sit down.
When he has his
Suck
tactical
my
vest
cock.
packed full of beer, PBR.
It's all PBR,
It's
baby.
all PBR. When Pyro blows up, PBR's all over the place.
Okay, so let's move through it.
Life,
through,
it's all PBR.
Okay, so each death. Let's move through it that way.
All right.
Okay.
The gratuitous
Oh, man.
violence is just. I mean, a lot of reviewers said that that was one of the biggest flaws, was that it was just too much.
It wasn't too much. It was.
I don't know if I
It was-
disagree with that, man.
It was inaccurate excess. It was. I'm okay with lots of violence, lots of gore. What I'm not okay with is you trying to portray lots of gore, lots of violence, but the effects look like shit.
Right.
When
Okay.
the guy dies in the train,
Yep.
sure, I'll see his fucking mangled body. What I don't want to see is a 10-pound mound of flesh that's got like 3 tongues.
Well, that's what you
He's
got.
only got 1 tongue.
That wasn't even like props. That was legitimate meat.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then there was like 8 of those piles.
there
It
were-
only weighs so
There-
much.
Yes, there was like a
Okay.
large torso portion that was beef.
Yeah.
and
No,
then
no.
there was like meat.
It was-
from like his arms that was like chicken thighs.
It was beef. It was beef smashed into an engine block. Is what it looked like.
Yeah. And
It,
okay.
it looked like a prop from like a live action Akira movie. It was ridiculous. But that was the one that stood out to me the most as being the most ridiculous. Like, sure, nail a dude to the ceiling.
That was awesome.
Whatever, that's fine.
I mean, it wasn't Predator. I don't know what they were going for.
if you squint, it kind of looks like it.
Yeah,
But yeah, that train scene was the worst.
I love the
train scene was
the
awful.
actual, not the train scene, the training scene was one of my favorite scenes because of how much bullshit was in there, and it establishes how incompetent Arnold is.
Yeah.
Because in one of the scenes he goes, "Grinder, that's your responsibility. You're the second in. You dig the corner. That's
Dig
your
the
responsibility.
corner."
There's no arguments. Let's run it again." And then
fucked up.
throughout the movie, if you notice, whenever Arnold's second, he never goes into
takes
the
the corner.
he never ever goes into the corner.
Watch the corners, rookie. Okay, so there's that death. The second death is the guy getting nailed to the ceiling.
right.
Incredible.
The third death is.
Oh, about the first death. There's a part I noticed. He wakes up, he gets a beer, he hears the train, looks out the window, he goes and grabs the keys.
Yeah.
He has it in his hands.
Yeah.
And he's still trying to open the door.
Oh, he totally could have made it out. There's no reason he died.
First
He
of all,
has
why do you park on the tracks?
No. So
Somebody-
apparently he was towed there.
He was sabotaged, Gavin.
Right. Toad. That's right. I remember that.
But here's another question: if you're parking someone's car on train tracks, why don't you take the keys with you and
Yeah.
not leave them where you found them?
Yeah.
Because they towed him. They didn't
He
have
might
the
have.
keys.
And I said this. And I said this when
That's actually really plausible.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
when we first watched it the first time, like there was enough RV that if he had just gone to the back of the RV, he
Go to
would
the
have
back.
survived. He might have made
parts
it.
the fuck out of that.
Right.
Yes. No,
Or the
instead he
front.
faced it head on,
Yes.
mouth open,
Yes.
and that's probably what made him blow up because
Right.
of just the rapid exhaustion
Well,
of air.
no, sir, because we see him
tumbles
tumbling.
around.
That's right.
We see him tumbling like
No, he could have survived.
laundry
All that meat should
in a
have
dry
been
cleaner.
in that RV.
Yeah, he could have survived that.
Yeah, it was stupid. However, let's also mention that the police detective lead investigator, probably the worst ever.
Yeah, she's a
At the very end of that scene, she tells Arnold to scrape his friend up or
Yeah.
look for body parts.
I mean, like
look
the
for body parts.
most
She goes-
inappropriate fucking thing you can say to somebody.
She goes, do you know any next of kin? And Arnold goes, only a few ex-wives. I'm it.
Yeah, so he's the only family that
Sweep
this
up
guy
body
has.
parts.
Yes.
And she says you can come in and sweep up the rest of your friend's body.
Sweep some body parts. Hands him a handful of flags.
Like, okay,
to stake into the ground.
it takes another 15 to 20 minutes for her to figure out who John Wharton, Arnold's character, is.
And how much she wants to bone him.
So right, exactly. So she doesn't even know who he is,
Which is
before
not my
she
favorite
says
thing. I
that
did not.
fucking before she says that shit to him. She doesn't even know who he is. So he is literally the only family that this guy has, and she defecates on that so much. And it was I
was incredible.
I couldn't believe
It
it.
was incredible.
Yes. The next death,
Is the guy
is-
getting nailed to the ceiling, right?
I thought it was no, yeah, it's the guy getting nailed to the ceiling.
Yep.
Right.
Yes.
Because
Which-
Neck dies in the shootout.
No,
in the
Smoke
robbery.
Jennings dies.
Smoke Jennings. I'm sorry. Smoke dies in the shootout. Pyro dies.
No, Neck is the one that got nailed to the ceiling. Pyro dies in the RV. Grinder
Yeah.
gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
Tripod gets ambushed.
Yeah.
Fixing his truck.
That one
Fixing his truck.
that one bothered me too because
The way it was shot was so shitty.
it was weird. It
They
fucked
had a
me
good
up.
idea.
Fucked me up.
They didn't execute.
Right, the concept was pretty good, but yeah. Okay, so later on we realize that Lizzie is the one who's behind this, right?
Right.
Punk
Right.
ass Lizzie McGuire.
So why? Okay, so what we saw was that Arnold's theory as to what happened, or was that actually what happened? Because if it was actually what happened, then there was Mexican cartel
it's-
who were after Pyro.
Yes, that's actually what happened because there's a scene where one of the
Right, so they find
cartel
his
trips
tattoo,
the wire.
right?
Yeah, they trip the wire and then
Right.
they find him next to it.
Okay.
We're
okay.
talking about Tripod's death, right?
Yes, the guy working on
right.
his truck.
Okay. So we've established that later on. We established that Lizzie's the one who's murdered everybody.
Correct.
So then, is the Mexican cartel also after them? Because they never really established that. What they established is that
So
it's a setup.
Lizzie was probably the one tipping them off.
So Lizzie told them to go after this guy, but only this guy?
Well, that
Why-
would
why would
cover
they not
your
go after
plot
her?
hole. Like,
Why wouldn't they go after her? She was part of the team too.
Right.
But I think
Why wouldn't they go after everybody? They only go after Pyro.
I think what might be
Tripod.
more likely.
Tripod, sorry,
What
thank
might be more likely is what you said originally, that maybe this is just Arnold's reenactment in his mind.
Right, maybe
because
that's his
we're
theory
seeing
as
this
to
through
what
his
happened.
They
perspective.
find the guy. They find
Right,
him.
right.
They lift
No,
up his
it
sleeve,
can't be his
they
theory
find the
because they do
tattoo.
find the cartel
Right.
member, right?
Well,
so
actually-
it can't be a theory.
Let's back this up a little bit because
You backed
every
it up a little bit.
Back
it
that
is.
ass up.
I got that, baby.
Wait. I want to say one of my favorite lines from the movie. Make it clap for Uncle Daddy.
For Uncle Daddy.
Uncle Daddy.
Makes
Wait,
sense to me.
one of
You
my
guys don't have one of these?
one of my other favorite lines. Don't fucking yell at don't fucking yell at me, you motherfucker, with your fucking 48% body fat.
48% body fat.
Why don't you go to the gym?
Why don't you go to the gym?
God
Yeah, I
damn it.
will.
Go
You
to the
fucking
gym,
fat
dog.
fuck.
48% body fat.
48% body fat. That is the greatest. That's one of the best insults in a movie ever.
Cut to 2 hours of him just lifting to get it out. Anyway,
Go ahead.
so let's just highlight the fact that every single flashback within this movie is just terribly done.
Yeah, they're all
Terribly
shot
done.
horribly.
Yes. You don't understand that it's a flashback
No.
at the time.
No, you have to be like, what the fuck is going on? And then you go, oh,
I get it now.
Yeah.
It happens twice in the movie.
I mean,
if
maybe
remember
that was
correctly.
that was David Ayer's intent, but it was awful.
Yeah,
it was
no.
terribly
I
executed.
feel like David Ayer was like, yeah, okay, we got everything shot, and then they went, we're gonna cut this off, and he went, I'm out. and then he had nothing to do with it from that point on because
Maybe.
it was probably really well shot.
Yeah.
And then they chopped it up.
That scene with Tripod could have, like, they could have waited until the very last little cut scene where you're like, oh shit, this could be a flashback, and then it shows you and you're like, oh shit, it was a flashback.
You know what would have been a cool way to film that?
You're like, well, is it not?
Would have been a cool way to film that is Arnold discovers Tripod's body, and then as Arnold is giving this face of like, fuck, they've discovered us, it should cut back and forth between Arnold's face going, just looking at it like, oh fuck, they've got us, and that scene that they showed us.
5 minutes of Arnold's face.
No. It would cut. It would cut back and forth.
Yeah.
Wait, you don't?
No.
I would. I would take it.
No.
All right, guys.
I'm saying the scene wouldn't be 5 whole minutes. That's a long time to just be staring at his face. But a couple of seconds of just cutting back and forth, establishing what happened, as opposed to just confusing the shit out of the viewer.
Right.
Because I
it made no sense.
No, it didn't. It didn't. So
Shit was whack, bruh.
Shit was whack.
Who dies next?
My heart when I realized just how bad this was.
After Tripod,
Who is next?
I believe it's just Grinder.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Grinder dies.
Is
after
it
that.
fucking Monster?
No,
No,
Monster
that
dies
was
after
after
Last
Grinder.
guy to die?
Okay, so Grinder
Confesses.
gets right.
Grinder confesses, puts Breacher up. Breacher meets with the detective.
Right.
They go into the diner.
Yep.
And right as the detective goes, we can protect you, gets his pop.
Yeah.
Gets his top blown off.
Okay.
Yep.
One more plot hole. How does Lizzie know where they're gonna be?
Because
Good
she's
question.
a boss. And she's on drugs.
It's that meth power.
She is a fucking methed out meth whore.
Let,
How is she a fully functioning meth whore?
Let
It
me-
doesn't make any
Because
sense.
her brain's working faster than yours.
Let me
Margo.
tell you
Tell me.
a note that I put down as I was watching the movie.
Okay.
Lizzie is the worst.
She's the worst. She really was the worst.
I put
worst human being
I
ever.
put together a list. She's a meth head.
meth.
She
meth.
cheats on her husband.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She murders teammates.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And she does a weird growly voice.
Yeah, I didn't like
Yes,
her
that
voice,
was weird.
especially in the end when she's dying in the
it's the
in the trunk.
worst.
Her
Yeah.
voice, I was just like, took me
Nope,
right out of
nope,
it. Can't
nope,
take you seriously anymore. You sound way
Oh.
too weird.
Do you want to know?
Bring your family back. I'm choking on blood. I'm dead.
Oh, no.
I would personally like to get into Monster's death.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it.
That one was just hilarious to me.
It was stupid.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hated it.
I mean,
I absolutely fucking hated it so much.
I mean, yeah, I guess the heat of the moment, maybe she kills him the way she does.
in the heat of the
want-
moment, she grabs a knife and slices her
want-
husband's
Do you
throat.
want this passport?
But, right.
Here.
Go get it.
Garbage disposal.
I'm dead.
No,
How could you slice,
And
stab?
first of all, he's just really calm that his wife is fucking his partner for some odd
Right.
amount of time.
There was nothing. There
I
was
would
no
be-
sort of foreshadowing or preface to that.
No.
Oh, hey, by the way,
Nope.
I'm fucking him.
Right,
Yeah.
but
But-
they didn't like flirt at any point in
No.
time. No, she flirted
There was
more
with
with the
Pyro.
other
With
right.
Pyro, he's
Right.
like, all right,
She-
now I want to fuck her.
Now that would have made sense, or if she was fucking Grinder,
Yeah.
because Grinder,
Yeah,
she
'cause his
flirted with
name's Grindr.
right? He's grinding,
Grinder,
But no.
you just met her.
He can't stop
Hey!
but no, she's fucking the guy who you would least expect, and I guess that's what David Ayer thought. With hey, you not even thinking about Terrence Howard? He's just kind of slipping in the scenes.
Nobody's-
oh wait, he's fucking
Yeah,
the meth
you're
whore.
right.
Nobody's ever thinking of Terrence Howard.
Because Terrence Howard either dresses like a cholo gangster or a Motown pimp in this movie.
That's it.
Yep.
That's all he's got.
But my biggest issue with, and maybe it was an issue, I'm glad it was there because it provided entertainment. He's bleeding out after she slits his throat on the kitchen floor.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had just excessive amounts of blood.
Right.
right.
So then when they find his body later, not only are the kitchen floors immaculately clean, but they open the refrigerator where his body is being stored, and more copious amounts of blood flows
Yeah,
out.
just
Yeah.
a fridge full of blood.
So much
How
blood.
does that
There's
happen?
so much blood.
I
Which-
promise you, his blood pressure was already done when he was on
Let's
the
get
floor.
a little scientific with this. if he's sitting in a fridge, his blood's already coagulated.
Yes.
Yep.
If it's cool, none of that should be flowing out.
And there's only like 10 liters of blood.
Plus,
he lost half of that.
Plus, it slit his throat.
Yeah.
So you've only got so much blood in your head.
He's done.
And not much of it's going to get pumped up.
Plus,
so she must have slit like a femoral artery or some shit for all that blood to come out.
Plus,
she panicked and just kept stabbing him.
Oh God, get in the fridge!
Plus what?
That's how she got him in the. No, get in there.
Plus, he's really bad at American accents.
Yeah, his accent is god awful.
So bad.
Slipped a couple times. I caught that.
Every other time he had to say a line.
Oh, I'm Australian.
And I'm proud to be an Australian.
Yeah, the casting's bad. Even the coroner is one of my favorite people.
Oh no, he's great.
He talks
His lines
about
are the best.
He talks about people like he's cooking barbecue.
Yeah.
He's just like, you see this right here, this piece of meat right here. That's how far he got stabbed.
So he wrapped them in chicken wire, so when they blow it up, the gas is popped through.
They never come to the surface.
I'll never forget that though.
Yeah, that was
never
Seriously,
forget
that shit
Creepy.
stuck out to me. Yeah, it did fucking.
Gavin dropped that line the other day.
Yeah, I did because I'll do it one day.
It sticks out.
Yeah, you would.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll do
so Monster dies. He gets sliced up. He gets put in a fridge. Grinder dies. He gets blown to bits. His head gets blown apart.
Yeah. Not only does he get just shot in the head once,
She keeps shooting him.
She keeps shooting him.
Right.
Which is kind of cool.
Don't know why.
Don't want to eat
not
breakfast
bad.
after
Just
that.
in case.
Okay, so after that, we get the car chase, which I'm starting to hear. I mean, I feel like we all agree that it was a
Probably my favorite.
pretty badass car chase.
It's very
right?
unrealistic because
It's-
there's a woman driving.
It's
you know,
Oh no,
guys, am I right?
Oh no.
Am I right, guys?
God, that's so offensive, David, but it's true.
it is the most ridiculous. It's madness. That car chase.
And let me tell you why this is my favorite scene in the movie. It's because they finally start to have fun.
yeah, no, they do.
Yeah, seriously.
They
They let go and they have fun.
Just
during
a good
the
old
chase.
You want to
Fashion
hear,
car
you wanna hear a
chase.
goof that
Yeah,
happened?
yeah. Tell me.
In one of the scenes, they show Lizzie in the trunk. Then
Yep.
they cut to Terrence Howard driving. Lizzie's right next to him.
I missed it. I gotta go back and watch.
Oh, there's
it.
another scene where Lizzie is talking to Monster, and he's telling her that she can't go out, not with condoms in her purse,
Yep.
and his little braid on his chin is gone.
Oh, really?
And then it comes
Oh
back
my God.
immediately in the next scene.
no.
That's so funny.
incredible.
Okay, yeah, and that scene. I mean, he should have known she was fucking somebody else at that point. She's going out. She's putting condoms in her purse. I hated every character in this film except for Arnold. Like, I hated, and I only liked Arnold's character because I like Arnold Schwarzenegger, the person.
Maybe that's what they wanted. Maybe that is good writing.
Okay,
Is
I don't
that's
think
realistic.
so, though. I don't
We've
think
got
that
shitty
every
people on this
character
earth.
is supposed to be unlikable. You're supposed to gravitate towards
Yeah,
somebody.
that whole team
The
sucked.
entire ensemble
What, you reading
was
children
awful.
books at night, Marco? This is a real fucking world.
No. It's a movie, Gavin. It's
All right.
a movie. And writer-directors are supposed to know that I'm supposed to gravitate to...
I'm
supposed to.
I'm supposed to
know.
I am supposed to gravitate towards somebody. I'm supposed to like somebody.
Yeah,
Someone in this
relate
fucking movie.
to someone.
Relate to somebody.
I'm sure our friend on Facebook can relate to a lot of people on this.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
It just, they're very unlikable characters. The gratuitous violence. I mean, some of it was just too much.
I like
that crash scene in the end with the
it was so
with the
good.
cyclist on top
man.
into the trailer.
Incredible.
Into the tow truck. Yeah, that was too
man,
It was beautiful.
you kidding me right now?
Don't ride bikes.
good. Suddenly, he's going 50, and suddenly he's going 100.
Yeah, boom.
Just,
He's dead. Cyclist
He's
is
not
dead.
dead.
Cyclist
his
has
body-
been dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cyclist felt no pain.
Because
Terrence Howard
easily into the
died.
night.
Terrence Howard was obliterated.
split in half.
Yeah.
They show an overhead scene
Just
that's
like
just
Lizzie.
a pool of
Yes,
blood.
it's just blood
on the streets.
everywhere. Blood everywhere.
Why didn't Terrence Howard just like Jim or Ace Ventura and just like hang out the window?
Right.
Or
No,
just
he
slow down a little
Just
bit.
fucking slow down. He wasn't
totally
going that
did
fast
not
2
need to
seconds
die.
ago.
He did not need to die.
Oh, I
At
can't
all.
see because all the blood from the guys
I'm gonna keep
killed.
looking
Yeah.
through this
No,
cracked
well,
glass
the
of
worst
blood.
thing, the worst thing about that car chase was Terrence Howard going, "Kill that motherfucker," 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
It was like a video game. It was awesome.
It really was.
So annoying.
McGregor.
Seriously.
Well, he did need to die.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean,
he
he
needed
just
to die.
he was, and it shouldn't have been him. It should have been another one of the characters. But he was he was tapping at Lizzie, and I didn't like that. I didn't like her. I didn't like him.
What makes Lizzie so desirable?
No, she's not desirable.
She's disgusting.
Those beautiful
she's a
meth
shitty
looks.
human being.
Oh, you want to know who also auditioned to be Lizzie?
I would love to know who else.
Kate Mara,
Oh,
I would've liked that a
I would
lot.
have desired that.
Isla or Isla Fisher?
Ela. It's
Ela Fisher?
Island?
Yes.
La Isla.
Ela Fisher. So these are two
I would have preferred
comparable
both of those.
psychopath characters that could have
I
been.
think
one of them was casted, then hurt her foot. Then this scumbag was
doing the
thrown
last
in.
scene. Obviously.
Whoa!
I think they try
the actress is a good person. She's not a scum, but she played one.
At the beginning of the movie where they try to set up that relationship between Arnold and her as like a daughter-father relationship, I think that was a decent idea, but they just drop it. They drop it after that scene.
They drop it as quickly. And that bothered me too, because he's like, "You're on drugs. I can't believe it." And then she's like, "No, fuck you. I'm gonna wield this gun anyway." Because he tells her, right? So he's just done with that argument.
Do what you want.
And then that was it. If he would have just clamped down on her in the beginning of the movie, it would have been a totally different movie.
Yep.
Could have been his ace. Could have been working together.
Yeah, no.
It would have been a totally
They
different
both
movie.
wanted the fucking money.
They could have even written that differently, and he got over his fucking family that was kidnapped, got over all that shit, and found solace in his new daughter.
Right. Or
Who
how
he saved.
much more dramatically important.
That actually would have been pretty good.
How much more dramatically important would it have been if he actually saw a turnaround in her character?
Right.
Some
Some sort of arc
and then
for any character.
She gets back on drugs or something.
Right.
She ends up betraying him, really, because she was always shitty. She was never good.
Yeah.
Never. Not once.
Not once.
If she changed and then became shitty again, I would have felt that more.
Right.
And I feel like
Some
if
kind
you would
of
have
arc.
seen
Something.
Arnold lose his second family now,
Right.
that
The
would have
only
been
family
so
he's
much
got.
more important.
Right.
Maybe
Every
that's what they
character
were
was the
going
same.
for. That's what they were going for, because that was his second family.
Because I would have been
But
so much more
it was
hooked.
shittily done.
I would have
Yeah.
been so much more hooked if that was the story versus him getting revenge in a Mexican bar at the end, which the fucking ending, the goddamn... I was the last person your wife slept with. You can't change that.
Yeah, what was that? What was that about?
Great ending to this fucking movie.
I could take you. Yeah, and then he threatens him, and then he doesn't.
And then he kills him.
And then he doesn't. He goes, "I could take your family, but I'm not like you." And then he shoots him
Shoots him right
Just
in his head.
kidding.
on
Because
a pile
that
of
story-
ice in the urinal. Surprised he didn't drop a one-liner, because that would have been perfect.
That
Chill
story's
out.
not over.
You've been iced.
The story's not over because realistically, in life, he's gonna go home and probably kill himself because he's so depressed. His life's fucking
I mean,
over.
I think we're supposed to believe that he died in that
Right.
bar.
Yeah.
He got
because-
shot in the heart
Yeah,
area.
he probably did cocaine in the bathroom and then went out because he took 2 shots to the chest and did
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
We're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, guys.
Yeah,
True,
60-something-year-old Arnold.
True.
He's mostly chicken meat.
¿Dónde estás?
La biblioteca.
¿Dónde
He
estás?
just piles on to the
¿Dónde
Mexican.
estás?
Dime.
He learned 3 phrases.
Cerveza.
¿Dónde? Cerveza.
Mas,
And he was
por
very
favor.
much like, no, I'm gonna drink whiskey, motherfucker.
American whiskey.
American
A fake
whiskey.
Irish whiskey from
There's
America.
I just have a couple of notes. One of my favorite things, the black cop, I forgot his name.
Jackson.
Jackson.
He says this character looks like Mario from Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I noticed that.
What year is this?
Well.
And I was like, wait. And then I got past it because
Did he
I
stop
wasn't,
playing video games in '81?
I wasn't gonna waste my thought process on that. So
Oh God.
All right, their cop banter was really good.
The cop banter was horrible. Those 2 cops in the SUV with the pissing contest.
No, no.
That sucked.
I ain't pissing in a bottle. You pissed in, boy.
The problem is my dick probably don't fit in that.
Oh man, my dick too big for this bottle. I piss right in this bottle.
Every single interaction with any police officer was the worst.
Yeah, it was just. I mean, it was just like cop banter, cop banter. Cop banter, cop banter, cop banter. I was like, what? Who wrote this shit? Did you tell them to like improvise? Because it was so bad.
It was pretty much NCIS
Yeah.
on the big screen.
Fucking NCIS.
don't insult NCIS like that.
NCIS. Are you serious?
Don't associate it with this movie.
NCIS is
You can-
worse than this movie.
CSI Miami?
I hate CSI.
Well, there we go.
Okay,
we can all agree on something.
CSI Miami's good.
Fuck CSI in all in shapes and forms and reincarnations and bullshit.
NCIS can suck my cock.
It can, because it would feel great.
Yeah.
It feels like America and liberty.
It does.
NCIS,
It does. Fucking
Gavin.
Gibbs.
Fuck
NCIS.
Okay, enough, people. Let's get this back together.
Okay, rein it in.
Let us wrap this up by telling the audience our favorite things of this movie. What are the saving graces?
Okay,
did you like the movie? Did you dislike the
Before
movie?
we do that, I wanted to play a game called Guess the Gross. Do you guys know the gross?
Oh, good. Nice game. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
All right.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I want you guys to guess how much money they spent to make the movie, and then tell me the worldwide gross.
Before
of the
you do
movie.
that, let me tell you a fun fact. Is that the Australian release in theaters was canceled and went straight to DVD the day after it was supposed to be released.
Yeah.
This movie should have went straight to DVD. Director's cut, 3 hours long. I would have maybe purchased that.
It should have. It should have. And I still will, if it's available, watch the 3-hour footage.
I'd like to watch that.
I don't think
Yeah,
they
I'm
shot
interested
that.
in that.
The definitive
I
cut.
don't think they shot that.
How much
Yeah.
did it make? How much was it made?
All right,
Okay.
guess the gross. How much did it make? How much did they spend to make it, and how much did it make?
I'm a newbie, so I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
Pop my cherry.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess that they spent $250
$250 million.
with an M.
Holy shit.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. And that they got 100 of it back.
Okay. All right. Let me just say.
I'm setting a ceiling.
Okay.
here
Let me
for
just
you
say
guys.
this. $100 million. You're supposed to be guessing. You're in the fucking game.
I was going to guess it.
That's what you're gonna say. Okay. Let me just say.
This game's ruined.
$100 million means that you have a successful film.
Right.
$100 million is crossing the threshold into a blockbuster movie.
Not if you spent $250.
Even if you spent $250, if you made $100 million back, obviously you're not going to make back your losses. But as far as the success of the film, not for the studio, but for like the worldwide audience, $100 million is a success. This
Stick
movie
by my
was
answer.
an incredible flop.
Right.
Adam, your turn.
Okay. I think they probably spent maybe. Let's go in the range of $10 million. Let's say that's a $10 million movie. It seemed budgeted. It seemed like the effects weren't there.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the main brunt of the cost in most of these movies. And I think they made back probably $2 million.
Okay. You already looked at the
I was
going
going to say 45 million.
Okay, that would have been a good guess.
I didn't see how much it made back.
Okay.
Probably not 45 million.
No.
What do you think?
Probably about 10.
Okay.
It's goes to show that we're not movie producers.
David was the closest. They spent $35 million to make the movie, and they made back worldwide gross of $18.4 million. Like, how far off were you, Gavin?
Oh, I was way off.
Way off.
250
Can you
million.
imagine?
I was setting the ceiling.
This
Now-
is not Avatar.
No,
I
it's not.
wasn't. If you guys honestly thought that I have any idea what goes into, how
Okay,
much
all right,
money they
but
spend.
but think about that though. A successful film is makes $100 million. That's a blockbuster movie. This film made $18.4 million. That's
terrible.
their worldwide gross.
That's
Not their
terrible.
American, their domestic. That is their worldwide $18 million. That's
really-
almost as much as they stole in the movie.
If it showed in 18 countries, that's less than $1 million each.
Exactly. That is how bad. And you know what? I don't know why. I would like to know why it performs so
You wouldn't want
poorly.
to watch this shit in theaters.
Nobody.
It's
nobody
Arnold
went out.
Schwarzenegger.
I
Though.
don't give a shit. It was Arnold is only doing this because he can't do the other movies he wants to.
But you would think that Arnold Schwarzenegger could pull in.
No.
I mean, not $100 million, but at least 50 mil.
It's probably because it wasn't advertised.
We can get into a
Yeah.
conversation about international box office stuff because I can talk about that in another.
Okay.
forum.
Okay.
But
Let's wrap it back up. All right.
Go back to
Now let me get one word in, and that's I undercut.
What
the
word
budget.
is that?
that's a lot of words.
I undercut the budget.
More than one word.
The word is budget. And I undercut it on this film because the effects, that shootout scene, those sparks from those bullets was bullshit.
Yeah, pretty bad.
The blood effects at the very end of that, bullshit.
I like when Griner gets shot in the head and like the menu's up there.
Yeah.
And it ends up there.
That blood goes everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Let's wrap it up, though.
Wrap it up.
Everybody go down your row and say if you enjoyed the film and what is your favorite part of it, even if you hated the movie.
I want to go first again because mine's the least interesting and
Okay.
the least entertaining.
Well, that's a good setup.
It was more entertaining to watch than it was for my mind to digest. I would only watch it again if I was forced to.
We won't do that to
I
you.
would like to see Arnold do something other than movies for the rest of his life, which only has a few years left.
Oh man!
But my favorite part of the movie,
Downer.
because of just how bad this movie was Arnold's house. I'm pretty sure that was his actual house. It was a beautiful house. And that's how terrible that movie was. That was my favorite part.
You're right. That is pretty boring.
Yeah.
Dave.
I enjoyed it the first time. Didn't enjoy it so much the second time. I didn't enjoy it at all the third time. But my favorite part is when Terrence Howard said his very introspective line of, "Some of us are getting paid, the rest of us are getting dead."
Drop the microphone.
I will say that I did not enjoy this film at all. And that's it. I just did not enjoy this film. I just didn't like it.
What's your least
bad moment?
Least bad moment.
The least bad moment was definitely the shootout. The car chase shootout was definitely the best. That and the storming of the apartment was pretty solid.
How about most
that was
incredible
good.
bad moment?
Most incredible bad moment, the RV car crash. There's no doubt about it. That was horrible. Definitely the worst.
All right. So my favorite least bad moment was probably, like you were saying, Marco, the shootout scene in that apartment complex.
Yeah.
I also really liked when the bicyclist the helmet did not work. His head exploded upon impact, and then he was instantly just like sliced in between that truck.
It was good. It was good.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the problem with this movie, is that it didn't have enough fun, and it didn't let itself go enough. And if it did, I would have enjoyed it more.
Not enough
Probably.
PBR.
Not enough PBR. If they continue the PBR throughout Mexico,
I think that's the lesson here.
I think that's what we need
In life.
It's just more.
Do we
PBR.
have PBR here?
Not yet.
No.
Soon.
We can for $1.
We can tonight.
True.
To wrap it up, I think we can all say this was not a good movie.
Yeah.
No. it
Not
was
Arnold's best.
No.
No.
Not David Ayer's best.
Ooh.
Definitely.
Far
not.
from it. But, I'm not really mad at it. I think it tried some stuff.
Tried hard.
It
too hard.
tried.
Tried to be a movie,
Yeah.
but it's not.
So I think we can unanimously say that we do not recommend people go out and watch this movie.
I would definitely agree with that. You don't have to watch this.
Steamy
You
pile
can
of shit.
skip this one.
All right.
Steamy pile of flesh.
Guys, if you're at home and you just want to smash with a chick, put this on because you won't want to watch it.
You're
You
not
will
gonna watch
see.
this.
It's the instant distraction movie.
Yep.
And the pile of
All
meat
right.
might turn you on.
Agreed. Jesus.
Sign us off, Adam.
Yeah.
Jesus.
On that note, this has been the One Reel In podcast. This is the very first that we've done. We hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, please comment, like, and share. We want to know your input on this, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Get down!
We love you.
Sign us off.
Oh, this is Sports with Dave.
Yeah.
This is Marco Dupa. This is Gavin Benner, but you don't need to know his name because he'll never be on this podcast.
Yeah. Fuck him.
And I am Adam Obesis Rodriguez, signing off. See you again next week.